He was one of the most creative and daring CEOs. A global icon who shaped the worlds of technology and media. For over 30 years, computers, music, movies, and mobile phones were transformed by Apple's Steve Jobs. He was a brilliant visionary. Few executives in history suffered such painful setbacks.
It looked like Jobs was washed up and was a total has-been.
Or enjoyed as much success.
Steve, I love you!
And Steve came back and began what I think is the greatest turnaround in the history of corporate America. A very remarkable man, extremely smart, a spellbinding, mesmerizing leader of people.
Jobs went from having nearly blown this amazing fortune and bankrupted himself to rising as a billionaire with a brilliant future.
Steve Jobs was a true son of Silicon Valley. Born in 1955 in San Francisco, he was raised in its freewheeling culture of experimentation and innovation. Alan Deutschman is an author who has written extensively about Jobs and Apple.
Steve Jobs, from going back to when he was a teenager, was very influenced by the 1960s, 1970s counterculture. You know, he loved the Beatles, he loved Bob Dylan.
He enrolled in Oregon's Reed College, but dropped out to travel after just one semester. Robert X.Cringely was Apple Computer employee number 12.
When I met him, he was, I think, 19 years old. He had hair down to his waist, and he only ate fruit. And he was, clearly a hippie.
When Jobs returned to his childhood home in California, he became interested in what was then an entirely new concept, the personal computer. He joined meetings of the Homebrew Computer Club with a man who would become his partner in founding Apple Computer, Steve Wozniak.
People are getting up, these computers are going to revolutionize life. And I felt like, oh my God, I'm a part of this huge revolution that we're talking about. Everybody's going to have a computer in the home, and nobody in the outside world believes us. Projects that I would design and build, very frequently Steve would say he knew how to sell it.
Jobs and Wozniak took time off their day jobs to set up shop in the family garage in Los Altos.
We didn't have a telephone to phone the computer stores in the garage. That was in Steve's bedroom.
The team's first computer, the Apple I. As the tech industry in Silicon Valley took off, Jobs saw opportunity.
The penalty for failure for going and trying to start a company in this valley is non-existent. There really isn't a penalty for failure either psychologically or economically, in the sense that if you have a good idea and you go out to start your own company, even if you fail, you're generally considered worth more to the company you left because you've gained all this valuable experience in many disciplines.
To bring their ideas to life, the Apple team needed capital. Jobs convinced angel investor Mike Markkula to invest around $90,000 and a line of credit in the fledgling company. It was exactly what they needed to create their new computer, the Apple II.
What was revolutionary about the Apple II was its use of color, the fact it had a built-in keyboard, and it was the first one to look like a consumer device. And so it was a huge success. It was an astounding success right from the beginning.
Steve came to me one day and he said, you realize our stock is worth more than our parents have made in their lifetime. I was stunned. What the heck? How can you have so much? And then 6 months later, you have 10 times more.
They were the stars of Silicon Valley and the cover boys for a new industry.